What's up?
We're live, man. Look at you.
Yeah, I made it.
I'm going to tell you what, man. 2020 was the longest 5 years of my life, dude. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah, it was an interesting year.
It was long, but my letting the chickens out with Jim video on Monday, I said what the title was, stick a fork in it. Whatever you're taking away from 2020, whether it's excuses, bad feelings, whatever, stick a fork in it. It's over. We're moving on to 2021, and I don't want to hear anybody when they're trying to buck people up. I don't want to hear anyone say it could always be worse. Shut the hell up if you ever want to say that, okay? Just saying.
Yeah. I will say this. I remember feeling bad for people who were having COVID birthdays.
Yeah.
Right? But I think we're all going to have a COVID birthday because it's almost that time.
Dude, COVID birthday was, I mean, oh, you're talking about just the birthday of COVID or having a birthday during COVID?
Yeah, having a birthday during COVID. I mean, it just sucks.
That's,
you know, like
how? Nobody comes. I don't have a party. Nobody comes to my, nothing happens. It's no different, dude. My life hasn't changed at all. I'm going to be honest with you.
Not for you. I'm talking about kids. You know, a 10-year-old kid has a birthday and he can't have a birthday party.
I don't know. Play the sympathy card. Turn it to your advantage. Have people send you all kinds of Amazon gift cards and, you know, act all depressed, and your grandparents will treat your birthday like it's Christmas. Come on now.
But you know what? I would agree with you. My life hasn't changed. Or I should say my business life hasn't changed.
There you go.
At all. Yeah.
Well, I want to give a warm welcome to Peter, Diego, Amanda, Vicky, Namita, and Sunita. And those of you who are lurking, I'm only seeing one thumbs up. Come on. We made it to the new year. Can we at least get a huggy icon, a like, a share, a something, anything to acknowledge other than that you're sitting there watching us like some sort of strange peep show on the interwebs. Actually, I think 10 was really when my development stopped. I'm being honest with you, Stu. I mean, I told you the story about my grandkids when they were 8 and 4. I asked them this. I said, so is mommy a grown up? Yep. Is Nana a grown up? Yep. Is daddy a grown up? Yep. Is grandpa a grown up? Nope. Literally both of them, just like no. I'm like, what do you mean? What am I? And they said, you're grandpa. So I'm like this strange man child that is here for their amusement, and I couldn't want any other role in this world.
I think that's incredible.
That's right. So cool. So what the hell are we talking about today, Stu? What are we doing as podcast producer? And it's funny because I told Stu, obviously he should start giving me he should start giving me the copy that I'm supposed to put up on the page, because it says Jim and Stu first show of New Year plus podcast 102. That's the title. That's not too bad, right, Stu? That's okay. Let you know what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, not what it does.
But the blurb says New Year's resolutions are garbage. Do this instead. Plus other uplifting messages of hope and snark. So
I like that, because that's true. How many of you guys used the word resolution in the last 2 weeks?
Ooh.
And you'll never use it again in the next 10, 11 months.
Before the end of this month, you will stop using resolution.
That is true.
Absolutely.
But you won't stop goal, and you won't stop what I like to call it. Instead of a resolution, we call it a reset.
Oh, okay.
And what, whether you're resetting your diet, you're resetting your, physical fitness, whatever that is, you're resetting your business. I got a couple of things I'm resetting this year. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our,
I thought that was funny.
What we need to do. What do we need to reset in our business? And what are some ways to check that out? So,
okay. So why don't you go first, because this was your idea, and then I'll come in and save the day.
Okay, for instance, I am working on two things.
Okay.
One, because sitting is the new smoking, I'm going to be standing up a lot throughout the day. So not stand up the whole day, but have my standing desk up about half the time and sitting desk the other half.
Do you have
of the
one of
time.
those automated standing desks or the one that you get Armstrong?
I don't know which one I have, but it's
No,
it's
Armstrong means you use your arms to lift it up.
No, it's got some hydraulics in there. Looks
Do you
like.
push a button and it goes up, or you have to move it with your arms?
Yeah, I push a button.
Oh, excuse me. You
It
could get in a
moves.
few extra curls if you had a cool one like me that you actually had to use your manly. Of course, you can't say man anymore. If you used your strength stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, my goal is just to mix in more standing versus just sitting. But even then, even when I'm sitting, take regular breaks so often that I add in some stretches during my break time. Now, this is just for my health, right?
Mm-hmm.
For my business, here's what I'm doing for my business. I have a website that I've had up since the 90s. And
Yeah.
there are some pages on there that probably haven't been updated in 15 years. So
Yeah.
I am doing at least a page a day updating that website.
All right. Let me ask you a question.
And I'm pulling it over to my new website
Okay.
as a redirect.
Okay. So let me stop you right there, Mr. Stu Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got pages that have been up for
Oh, I'm not getting rid of them.
No. No. You got these pages that have been up. Are they ranking in Google?
Yes.
Then why would you change them? Because if you change them, they ain't going to rank in Google anymore.
I'm not changing them in a way that
If you touch them, it will change them.
But they look so bad.
It doesn't matter. If they're bringing you traffic, put a link or an ad to whatever else you want them to go to, like at the top. But if you change those pages, they have longevity. They're ranked by Google. You're showing up first. They're showing up for stuff. I've seen so many people screw themselves, and not in an enjoyable kiss yourself after way, but in a way that makes you feel dirty and want to, go take a shower. If you change those pages, you could kill off traffic that you've been getting for free and would continue to get free. So
okay.
I'm just telling you, check the rank, check your stats, see what kind of traffic you're getting to those pages from Google, other search engines, links from other people. If you want to update them, copy the page, update it, and put it onto a different site and
That's
use it that way.
That's what I'm doing.
So you're going to leave the original page completely untouched.
That will
Not
stay
touch
as
it
is.
one little bit.
That will stay as is.
Okay.
Yes. But there's also a redirect option that I could do.
A redirect option that you could do, but the problem is that, okay, go ahead.
So it goes to the StuSmith.com website.
Mm-hmm.
You click it, and it says, whoop, sends you to Stu Smith Fitness.
Yeah, but Google looks at that as an automatic redirect and that search engine spam. And they don't particularly like that. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Google, Facebook, or other big tech, but we play by their rules. So what you can do is just add an image that says, if you want to get updated articles and other cool stuff from Stu Smith, click here. And literally, so you don't upset the balance of the page.
Well, I thought you said I shouldn't change them. That's changing them.
If you let me finish, don't interrupt me like I interrupt you.
All I'm going to do is update them. Jesus.
What you do is you make a graphic that says the stuff that I just said there, and you put the graphic on the page like an ad, and you have that hyperlinked, and that will change the page so minimally that it shouldn't affect your existing any existing traffic and stuff that you're getting from those pages.
I got you.
So I would do it that way.
Okay.
You do what you want. Okay. Parker's even supporting me in this. Your dog is like, Daddy, do what Jim says, Daddy.
I have no idea what's going on up there.
You've upset the animal. What are you texting the dog and telling him to be quiet?
I'm saying, texting my wife to help me out here.
But seriously, I've seen so many people mess that up. And you spend all that time and they've just been marinating in the search engines. Just throw a graphic on it and tell people to check out the new and updated Stu Smith site and just call it a day. Seriously. And then do exactly what you just said. Take that content, put it on the new site, update the crap out of it, do whatever you want, update it for 2021 or...
Yes.
What do we call this now? The 20s? Are we in the roaring 20s or are we in the wimpy 20s? What is this? We just finished the teens. Now we're in the 20s. You know what happened at the end of the last 20s, don't you?
No. Oh, yeah.
Great Depression.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, so anyway, just saying.
All right. So, yeah.
Aren't you gonna?
No, I like that. I'm reading some of these comments. I agree with you guys. I appreciate the feedback on the SEO issues. Yeah, I'll keep things rolling as they are. That takes one last thing I got to do.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I'm getting so much. I should say this. My first website that I created, right? That was 100% of my business until 2010 when I created the second website. Can't believe it's been 11 years now.
No kidding.
Wow, man.
I just saw a memory from 2010 that was 11 years ago that I would have on Facebook that I would have sworn was like 5 or 6 years ago.
And the cool thing about what has happened is my old website still does the same, same amount of business every year.
Not if you change pages.
But my new one has gotten better than the first one. Okay. So
put ads for the new one on
there. Incredible.
Put ads for the new one on the old one. That's look at those links of just putting ads for the old one or ads for the new one on the old one. Yeah, somebody asked a technical question about I'm just going to answer this real quick. In the purpose of 301 redirect to let Google know it's the same page on a new domain so you don't take the traffic hit. As someone who was a vice president for a search engine promotion company back in the early 2000s, here's a valuable lesson. Let sleeping dogs lie. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working, don't touch it. Thus endeth the lesson. You do what you want, though. That's the thing. Like Mr.
Pickles, he says, man, do what you want. I tell you what I think, then you do what you want. I'm done. I washed my hands of... See, this is me washing my pickle of you. That's it. Do what you want.
All right. So
I'm trying to find a reset here for this show. That is a reset.
I thought this was the reset.
Well, that is my reset. So I'm just saying you might need a reset right? Let's kind of take it into that zone.
Well, I didn't get to share my reset.
Well, what is your reset?
Well, my reset is that I gained the 20-20-20. I gained 20 pounds in 2020. Even though I was still working out and stuff, I got back. I went from 195 to 215. It's like I'm wearing a friggin' weight vest all the time. And there are a lot of reasons for it. I was dealing with a little bit of depression, a lot more. I mean, it was easy just to focus all on work. Work got really busy and other stuff like that. So my reset is I didn't stop working out, but working out wasn't as important. It used to be number one and then it became number two. And that's not good. So working out is back to number one and will continue to be for the whole year. I'm watching what I'm eating. I'm not going to go on a diet, but I'm being conscious every day of what I'm eating. And I've got it under control. By the end of February, I'll be back down to at least 200. So I'll be good and I'll be good then. So
you want to hear another reset I'm doing? Want to hear another reset I'm doing?
Sure.
I am adding 10 yoga poses to my live every day for 1 minute each.
The same one or different ones?
No, same ones, and I'm going to master them this year. So 10 yoga poses.
Which ones? You starting with the downward dog?
Of course. Down
Oh.
dog, up dog, warrior pose, I don't know, some lizard pose, a couple other ones, what's that other, the pigeon pose? That's another good one. Just stuff to really loosen up.
You gonna pose with your pickle?
Hmm?
You gonna pose with your pickle at all?
So anyway, I'm adding flexibility to my year.
Uh-oh, I smell a new book coming halfway through the year. Warrior. Oh, dude. Talk to the folks.
Warrior poses.
Nope, I'm not going to say it.
There's some combat yoga out there already.
Stop.
Warrior yoga.
Somebody already got it.
Yeah. I'm
okay.
Like I said,
I'm not done yet.
There wasn't a whole lot I needed to add to my world in the world of fitness, but flexibility was one of them. So I looked at where are the holes in my training, and I would say flexibility is something that I should improve upon. Just like you take it, where are the holes in your business?
So how is that going to affect
find that reset?
How is your emphasis on flexibility, which I agree 100%. I was talking to our mutual friend C. Ray about this, and I was talking to Sarah, and I was saying, my emphasis moving forward needs to be as much on flexibility as it does on strength, because that's kind of one of the things that's happened to me over the last years. I've seized up a little bit, and I need to start focusing more on flexibility. So I'm glad to hear that. So Stu, as one of your older customers, how is this new emphasis on how does this new emphasis on flexibility and yogurt and stuff, how is that going to influence your training and teaching and stuff moving forward?
You don't know. My goal is to create a nice 10-minute cool down to either the end of a workout or the end of a day. Right. I don't think this is book worthy, but it's just going to be something that is an added plus of.
Dude, it's book worthy.
Okay.
I know you. If you really commit to this and you start doing it, you're going to have a 10-minute cool down yoga pose for if you have upper body day versus lower body day versus on what we did today, which was mobility day.
Oh, heaven.
All of a sudden now you've got 1, 2, 3, a cool down before you go to bed type thing. You've got 4 distinct workouts with variations on how much time you have, what level you're at. Dude, come on. This is a 3-book series. You kidding me? It's at least 1 book. It is definitely book worthy. And I also know that when you do it, you're going to make all these discoveries. Yeah. And you can see it coming, because this is what happens, everybody. This is how Stu writes a book. Stu has an idea, and so he commits to it, and which is it's part of the process. Then he lays out his action plan. Usually it's something on a daily or a weekly basis. So right now he's doing a daily thing. He experiments on himself for a little bit and sees what works. Then he experiments on all of his students and sends them stuff to do and finds out from them whether it's working or not. Then he experiments a little bit more. Then he dials it in. Then he turns it into a book. That's what Stu does. Yeah. And that's what Stu's going to do between now and June, because he hasn't written a book in a while. Last year he didn't write any books, or you did one book. You didn't do any books.
I sold books.
He's got the itch. He's like, come on now. I got all these people I sold books to. I need to sell them something else. He's been neglecting the tactical people over 40 for about a year, and those people pay real well and buy everything that he sells. So he's going to come out with and then what he's going to do is he's finally going to take my advice, and he's going to do a real time with Stu video series, because these 10-minute yoga poses, he's going to walk people through the poses, and you're going to do them with Stu to get them done. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be a totally new profit center for Stu.
Nice.
Talk about a reset.
I would agree with that. That's a good reset. That's
Dude,
a good
I'm
plan.
serious though. That
No, I could do a
perfect
video.
for the Do It With Stu video thing.
I could do a video with that easy. I just hate doing like push-ups and sit-ups in a video because it's just so boring. You know what? Watch me do 50 push-ups, everybody.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask you to do me a favor. Okay. Yeah. Do the yoga kind of in a manly way type stuff. Don't be having the bonsai trees, and every time you transition from one thing to the next, you hear these little bells. Okay, now we're going to transition to downward dog. Okay, do it like a man. Do it like says, I feel good doing this yoga.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Am I annoying you this morning? I've only had a little bit of caffeine.
No, you're jacked up today. It's all good though. I appreciate it. It's all for love.
Diego says I'd pay for a Do It With Stu series.
Cool.
Oh, who else? Okay, here you go. Who else? If Stu came out with a tactical yoga program that was a Do It With Stu and it was in 10-minute increments, how many of you would buy that and would actually probably do it as part of your workout routine? How many of you would do that? I'd just be curious of everybody who's here live. We lost a bunch of people, which is probably good. We're sorting them out. Oh, this is good. Bob says, give all the poses new names that sound tougher. I like that.
Fair.
That's very cool. Okay, cool. I like it. You never asked me what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, I told you what I was going to do.
Yeah. How about this? Anybody see things in their business that they need to reset?
What's one thing that you want to reset this year in your business? Just share it here. I'm sure that it'll be used against you by the algorithm of Facebook, and you'll start seeing ads all about it here in the next, 29 minutes.
Yeah, that's interesting how that happens.
What?
It has completely changed the way I go shopping now.
What
I just the whole algorithm in Facebook. So what I do now is I just say it out loud. And then I just see all the ads that pop up on Facebook for me.
Nice.
And I check it out. So yeah.
All right. So people are saying, Raymond says quality of leads. Leslie says developing sales pages. So that's what's going to reset. Vicky says increasing traffic. That's always a good one. Happy New Year, Sandeep. Write something every day. Sunita says that's good. I try and do that every day. I know that's Carlin, even though it says Facebook user. He says doing these lives, answering Q&A about Grand Canyon vacations. That's smart. I think one of the smartest things you can do is go live every day and teach for 5 to 10 minutes. That's the best thing you can do. Tiki says make more offers. That's good. That's real good. And make more offers as part of doing your content. Diego says need to reset how we measure activities and the scoreboard of how we score. That's cool. I'm just curious, and then we'll transition over to the podcast episode because I know Stu wants to do that. Because I'm too aggressive this morning.
Oh, you're fine.
I must be feeling better. My shoulders were hurting for a while. I feel really good right now, man. I feel nice and loose. I feel really good.
That's what Mobility Day is for.
That is true.
That midweek vacation that is life-changing.
There you go. Combined with Netflix. The one thing I would change is launching my offers. So the one thing I would say, if you're looking for something that could have an immediate effect on your business and would create impact, would be what I just said. Creating content every day, creating value, practicing your craft, learning more, teaching more, and doing more to get results, and then teaching from the results that you're getting. If you did that every single day, learn something, teach something, do something, and get results, and then use that to keep the cycle going, you'd be amazed at where you'll be at the end of this year.
How about this question? What are you doing that you picked up a new habit in 2020 that you're continuing to do?
Good habit or bad habit?
No, good habit.
Okay.
Because I mean, one thing is 2020 has taught us is that we could definitely do more with less. And it just kind of changed environment. One thing that I spent last year on is I was a little burnt out from writing books anyway. So I went into 2020 saying, you know what? I've written a lot of books this last couple of years. I think I need to focus on selling them. And I was going nuts on the Jim Edwards method wizards and scripts and coming up with new content every day, whether it was a video content or it was written content and articles that linked into social media. My social media blew up. It's like over 60% of my hits are coming from social media versus Google.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I think that is definitely something that, it was one of my better years, 2020 was business wise. So I'm definitely continuing that.
Keep
model.
doing what's working.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it means fewer books. Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you already have enough books to gather people into your tribe. So now it's about adding stuff to your value ladder. Maybe a different, again, taking a different approach so that everybody who's bought a book from you, in other words, looking at your audience as a whole and saying, okay, what can I create that anybody who bought the FBI book from me or the over 40 tactical book or the, all these people, what would a larger percentage of this group want to buy from me? Or what could I get everybody to buy from me? How could I serve and that's not the right way to phrase it. What could I get them to buy from me? What could I create that had such tremendous value that anybody who's ever bought something from me would think, wow, I need this. And you start asking that question, and that's when you start banking the big bucks, because that's the way to look at it. And you don't have to bet the whole farm on it. Just test something small, see how people react. If you just did one yoga pose and showed, okay. Here's an angle. Yoga, I want to use a bad word and I can't, but still think yoga's for wimps. Try this for 60 seconds. That's a hook, man. And then you come out with a video and have them do something that for 60 seconds sucks. And like, okay, so this is next level tactical strength and mobility combined. Kind of a cool hook.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
No, I can definitely see a like the cool down series come out along with Fitness Over 50.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness Over 50 will be my next programming.
I'll buy it. I'll buy anything that you come out on that.
Because I've given my 50s a couple of years now.
Yeah, 50 is about fitness, flexibility, strength, fitness, flexibility, and something. If you could, get your alliteration going, because it's fitness. It's not just fitness, but it's flexibility.
Yeah, not overeating.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
Food, so easy.
Yeah, food, fitness, and flexibility. It's when you're younger, you say you can, and then there comes a point where you can't outwork your diet. Now you can't outwork your pain. Let's go with this for a second. You can't outwork your pain, because that's where I'm having an issue. It's not my willingness, but I know that I can't keep banging my head against a brick wall and I can't work through the pain. I've got to work smarter, because I went through about a 2-month period last year where my shoulders hurt all the time. There was not a time when they didn't hurt. Sometimes they hurt worse than others, but I'd wake up in the middle of the night and it's hurting right here. And I'm like, damn, I can't keep doing this. So I started, paying more attention to flexibility and stuff. But if you think about that, food, this is the golden triangle of being a successful tactical athlete over 50, if you want to do the tactical thing, or just over 50. But it's fitness, it's flexibility, and it's food. If any one of those gets out of whack, you're screwed. And when you're over 50, an injury that would have messed you up when you were 18 for about, I don't know, 3 days, now you get that same injury, you're over 50, it jacks you up for weeks, man. I messed up my foot. I fell down an elevator shaft about 4 months ago, and my foot has been hurting nonstop for 4 months. It finally started, to the point where it's feeling better. But it's all about the fitness, flexibility, and food. If you let the food get out of whack, there's all the flexibility and fitness in the world isn't going to count or help you with the fact that you're 20 pounds overweight, and that's like carrying around a weight vest all day, every day. Man, that really resonates with me. And I'd like to think that I'm somewhat representative of your customer over 50.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I like my little. So no, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I would agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And another thing that happens is injuries that you had in your teens and 20s, they reappear.
Yeah.
Or some of the scar tissue, you start to feel it again out of nowhere, and you're like, man, what the hell? Why's my shoulder hurt?
Yeah. That happens to me in my quad now. Something I ripped when I was like 19 that I got over. Now I can move the wrong way, and it's like somebody hit me in the leg with a bat. And it just, anyway.
Yeah. Hey, here's a little thing for those of us over 40 and 50. 80% is the new 100%.
Huh?
You like that? 80% is the new 100%. Don't run as fast as you can. Pull back a little bit. Don't lift as heavy as you think you can. Pull back a little bit.
What are you saying?
Just saying, don't push it all the way to 100%.
Why not?
Because you'll hurt yourself. Because here's what happens. You hurt yourself when you run too fast, when you run too much, when you lift too much, or you do too many reps. Just pull back a notch.
Forever?
I mean, you can still push yourself, but don't push yourself to where you're failing and hurting yourself.
Well, when were you going to tell me this?
I just started. It starts in your 50s.
All right. Well, but I think that's part of where you got to build the flexibility into the workouts.
Absolutely.
That's a book, dude. That's a book, and it's a mindset.
Yeah, true.
The mindset that I had, I mean, I think you and I have been working together now for 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah, it's a lot. You've got probably 400 weeks of workouts from me.
Yeah. So the thing is, what I wanted to do when I was in my 40s and could still do, I really shouldn't be doing now. I shouldn't be trying to do 30 pull-ups in a row. Even if I can, it's hurting. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's say you can do 30.
Yeah.
25 is great.
Yeah.
If you do 25, that's still more than most people can do.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So
yeah.
I'll be curious to see how this goes, but I think that's going to be huge for you, man.
There's a difference between fatigue and failure.
Okay.
Right? There's a fine line between the two, and we got to kind of play that line a little bit. So we don't push failure and hurt ourselves, but we're in that fatigue zone, so we have growth out of that discomfort.
So I'm going to be honest, I've never heard you explain it this way before.
It's brand new.
And I think but it's true. And I think you really need to share that message now.
Yeah. I did write an article, 80 is the new 100%. But
okay. But I'm honest to God, man. I think you really are onto something with this. I really do. Really, 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 really.
Okay.
So, cool. Well, I'm excited.
So 2021 will be some changes.
Cool.
mindset changes as well as some of the basics. That's
So
something really good. 2020 has taught me one thing: the basics work. You don't need a whole lot of crap. Just do the basics. It works.
Vicky says if you combine, she says if you combine 80% and yoga series, you're on to something cool. I think so too. I'm serious, man. We're gonna look back on this a year from now, and you'll be like, "Dang, that was the thing. That was the thing." Cool. It's got me really thinking, and I'm gonna tell you something else. Just what you told me there is taking some of the stress off of me with the working out.
Good.
It's like when you told me when I was, when you gave me those that recovery week or a couple of recovery weeks, you said I structured it in such a way that you could do as much or as you could push yourself as much as you wanted to, but you didn't have to. I don't remember you said that, but it was interesting because if you structure them so that if you're feeling great, you can really go after it hard. But if you're hurting or whatever, you can still do it, get in a good workout, but not feel like you failed because you don't finish the workout. If you know what I mean? Because once somebody's made the commitment, there is some ego, there is some stuff that plays in there where it's maybe stops being fun and it starts being stressful because you can't get it done, or you can't get it done in the time frame, and you're still giving it 100%, but you just can't do it like you used to. And there's like feeling bad about it. Does that make sense? We're having a little therapy session here.
Yes, it does make sense. I understand. I mean, there is one thing you have to do too, especially as we age, is you do have to check the ego at the door, because that's what drives us also to get injured.
Yeah.
Is ego, especially me. I work out with 20-year-olds all the time, and it is real easy to get caught up in, I'm going to beat that little bastard, and wind up pulling a muscle. So
cool.
Yeah.
Don't pull your muscle.
Yes.
Pull your pickle. I had to say it.
So, are we gonna do the podcast now?
Yeah, I think we should. Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
And we'll ask you guys. Hang on, and we'll ask you guys some of the things that you need to reset in your business.
Okay.
And why? There you go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to another edition of the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks Podcast. I'm your host, along with my trusty podcast producer, partner in crime, and the last person ever to bail me out of prison, Stu Smith.
Hey, Happy New Year, Jim.
Happy New Year. Oh, we just dated the podcast. Now people know we did this in January.
Oh, damn.
It's
what
okay,
year?
Stu.
What year?
There you go. I think that the podcast has dates on it. Dang it. Yeah. Oh, well. So, what are we talking about today? Okay, we're going to make this our first episode. It's our New Year's special. We're going to own it. We're going to own the New Year's thing.
Might as well.
Okay. Don't mention COVID or anything, because then they'll be able to figure out that we're doing this on January 6th of 2021.
Yeah, 21, man. We're in the roaring 20s, Jim. Roaring 20s.
Do you remember when you were a kid and you thought about how old you would be when the year 2000 came, and it seemed so far away? You're like, I'll never be that old. Did you ever think that?
Yeah.
Well, tack 21 on top of I'm never going to be that old. And now you're real freaking old.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was doing the math the other day, and I was thinking, wow, we're closer to like 1960 going this way than we are going this way. Going forward than we are going backwards.
Nice.
2060, so that was a hard.
Did you think of this while you were on a run and were distracting yourself from the pain in some body part?
Yeah, it was swimming, actually. I was looking at a black line in the pool. I was like, huh. Upcoming thoughts with Stu.
It's funny though, sometimes when you're doing something monotonous, that's when you actually have really cool ideas because your body goes on autopilot and your brain becomes the observer and you just start thinking about stuff. I do that all the time.
I tell you one thing that's fun is when your brain does that and it comes up with a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle of your swim and you're like, screw it, I'm going to go work on this right now. And you just like get out of the pool because this is such a good idea. That's probably happened to me twice in my life, but it's
really only that many. Must have been a good idea.
There've been a couple.
It happens to me all the time when I'm working out. My workout journal doubles as a idea journal.
That's good.
So my workouts I get from you have all kinds of cool ideas all over them all the time.
Well, let's go with that thought because, every time, it comes around to a new year, new you. I hate that one, but it's out there. Everybody uses the word resolution, but I prefer the word reset. And I say today during this podcast, we put on our Jeff Foxworthy hats and say this: you might need a reset if.
Okay.
Right? Instead of you might be a redneck if, right?
Okay.
You might need a reset in your business if.
Well, I can be like Jeff Foxworthy, like a country boy. You might need to reset if what? I don't know.
So we're asking everybody who's here with us live, you might need a reset if what? That'd be a good meme. It'd be a good way to increase engagement with people. Can I go first?
Sure.
Okay. You might need a reset if you feel like you're in a rut.
Sure.
Now, ruts can be good and they can be bad, though. So make sure that you don't feel like you're in a rut just because you're doing the same thing and it's working. Because if you're doing something that's working, you're going to get bored of it long before the market, your customers, your subscribers are going to be they're going to be tired of it. So be real careful that you don't feel like you're in a rut, start doing things differently, and you end up screwing everything that's already working. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a good one. You might need a reset in your business if you're not coming up with any new ideas for daily feedback, daily social media posts, daily articles, daily blog posts, whatever.
There's a wizard for that.
There is a wizard for that. You should consider that. No, I'm serious. You should have something. If you look back at the last year and see how many posts you did in that year, were there weeks without a post? Were there weeks without an article or a blog post? That could be a good indicator that you need to engage your audience more.
Okay.
That's easy to do. Just go through your blog and just say, "Whoa, man, I didn't do anything in March."
The second quarter.
Yeah.
Third quarter.
Yeah. So.
Ooh, here's one that might be mean, but you might need a reset if you're blaming others or circumstances for your current condition in life.
Oof.
You might need a reset if you're blaming COVID for everything that's going wrong in your life right now, because everybody's got this. Well, unless you're a politician, all the rules apply to all of us mere mortals. Everybody's playing the same game. So I heard somebody, a friend of mine who's pretty wise, and we are politically agnostic on all of our shows. That's the fastest way to lose your audience is to talk about politics, or to talk about religion. So, and I got no problem with either one of those, but you just not a good thing to talk about unless you really want to, unless it's your business.
Or you go all in, like the My Pillow guy. He figures half the country is going to buy his pillow.
Right.
That is true. You go all in and be the My Pillow guy.
That is true. So, but that's the thing is, like I said on before Monday, I did a video and the title of it was "Stick a Fork in It." No, nobody. It's over. It's done. It is what it is. You know, you can make excuses or you can make things happen, but you can't do both. So be a part of the solution and change in your life. So interestingly enough, we're having a few things like you might need a reset if your family is surprised to see you.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
Um,
you're working harder, not smarter.
Carlin says you might need a reset if you're not doing daily content, especially answering live Q&A live. Yeah, Q&A live is the easiest way to create content for
Oh,
anybody.
yeah, that's a good
Um,
one. Especially with this StreamYard device.
yeah.
I've been doing a lot of lives with it. It works.
Somebody said best way I heard it said time to change the script, flip the script.
Hmm.
Ooh, this is good. You might need a reset if you're still thinking 2020. That's good. Yeah, it's gone.
I like that.
Yeah, that's kind of like standing in the back of the boat and thinking that the boat's wake is what's driving the boat. It's not. What's driving the boat is the motor and the person at the steering wheel. And that wake has absolutely no impact on the direction of that boat. It is only an indication of where the boat was. So you got to get out of the back of the boat and get up the front of the boat, grab the steering wheel, and take control of your course. And you can't do that looking at the wake. Thought that was kind of a cool metaphor for that.
I like that one. That one will do.
So I think you might need a reset if you're unhappy with some aspect of your life consistently. Because if you are consistently unhappy with your weight, with your finances, with your relationship, with your environment, with the cleanliness of your room or your office or your closet or anything, if there's consistently something that is bugging you, you either need to change the way you are perceiving what's going on, or you need to change your procedure, your actions to change what the circumstances are. That's all you can do. But just sitting there being pissed off all the time is just going to get you more pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
Your turn, Stu. What you got?
Oh, you might need a reset if you have an old website that you're trying to update and you're trying to redirect all your old web pages to your new website.
You might need a reset on that thinking, and perhaps and all that is just a matter of just what I said, of perception and procedure. Perhaps your perception of the procedure that you should go through needs a slight derivation, and when you talk to your buddy, he'll tell you what to do. Vincent said something good. This is a good one. Don't look back. You're not going that way. I like that. That's a good one. All right, so I'll do another one. You might need a reset if I was going to say if you're bored. If you're bored, then read a book or do something about it. It's like, remember when we were kids, Stu, and I'm sure your mom and dad, I met your dad, he's cool. I'm sure he told you the same thing. If you ever said to your parents, I'm bored, oh, you're bored? I have some things that you better find something to do, or I'll find something for you to do. That was like the standard parent response back in the 70s, man.
Yeah, you knew not to say it.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Never. I mean, like you said it once and it stuck with you. But you found a way to entertain yourself, to make something out of nothing. I mean, we went to the pool, we played baseball, we you ran to your friend's house, and then you waited till the last minute when you knew you had to be home by 6:00, and you're like, well, I know I can run from here to there in like 6 minutes. So you come in heaving and getting ready to puke because you just ran a 4-minute mile and didn't realize you'd done it because the fear of a beating. It's if you want something different, do something different, think something different. It's just don't sit there stewing in your own juices. No offense. That's the biggest thing, is that A lot of people sit around and wait for somebody else to solve it for them, and nobody's going to show up and solve your problems for you. You got to solve them yourself. And then once you've solved them, you cash in by teaching other people how you solved your problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Here's something too. If your goals are taking you in the wrong direction, you might need to reset some of your goals. For instance, I see it in my line of work where we have young men and women who came into wanting to be in the tactical professions with a good running background. Let's say they were cross-country runners, right? So they can outrun anybody because they can do a 5-minute mile and it's easy, right? But their goal is to run a 4:30 mile, right? So they're focusing on their running, which they don't need to do. But the elephant in the room is that pull-up bar over there and that big 50-pound rucksack that they got to put on their back that they're ignoring.
Yeah.
Right. Which that's going to hit them hard. So when your goals are taking you in the wrong direction, you need to focus on, the bigger picture of what your business is doing. For instance, if you're really good at something, you may be ignoring something that you're not so good at doing. And
for a lot of people, that's traffic.
Yeah.
Creative people are really good at creating webinars, writing content, creating content. And then they think that the world should just beat a path to their door because they made a great video or they wrote a good article, and they don't spend any time on traffic. But you, as a great example of that, last year you said, okay, I'm taking off my copywriting and I'm taking off my book writing hat, and I'm going to put on my copywriting hat and my traffic generation hat and focus on making sales. And you told me that you had one of your best years, if not your best year ever, for book sales by focusing on that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And if I shouldn't be telling people that, but I think you already said that.
I mentioned it. Remember, I said I felt bad about saying I had the best year in business I've ever had, when people are
never feel bad about.
I know we've had this discussion before, and you're right. Don't feel bad.
But I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people listening. Listen to me. Never feel bad about being successful. Never feel bad about reaching your goals. Never feel bad about making money. Never apologize for doing your best and creating results. Don't ever do it, because people will make you feel bad about it. And anybody that makes you feel bad about stuff like that, they're gone. Get them out of your life. And okay, here's one. You might need a reset if there are people in your life that are holding you back.
Yeah.
Ooh, and that's a tough one, because sometimes the people who hold you back are the people who actually love you and you love them. So that doesn't mean you jettison the people that you love and the people that love you back, but you may need to have some serious conversations with them and help them to see the light of where you're going and change circumstances so that they can't hold you back anymore.
That's true. That's very true.
And
also be able to differentiate two different types of feedback. Like at the beginning of this show, Jim gave me some feedback on how I should update my website and not screw up some of my, long time placement on search engines, right? That wasn't a negative feedback to the point where I'm like, oh man, I'm pissed off, right? That was feedback of like, that's a good point. I have to readjust my reset and figure out another option to that.
So that isn't what pissed you off?
No, it did not piss me off. It just made me think. I was like, damn it, I thought I had a good reset.
What did piss you off?
It was more internally, not pissed off at myself for thinking, or I should have thought about the SEO consequences of making those changes.
But that's a great point, that you might need a reset if you're pissed off, or you get pissed off about stuff. especially when it comes to your business or areas like sore spots in your life and your business, your relationships. Is there something that pisses you off all the time and you're thinking that it's somebody else's issue? A lot of times it's you, and you need to change your perception. You need to change how you're viewing what's going on in the world. And that's a tough thing, but it's a tough world right now, and it's about to get tougher. And so if you want to make it, and all these big dreams and goals and other stuff that you have, you better get real good at seeing feedback as feedback and not as a personal attack. That's something I struggled with for years. I mean, I couldn't take any criticism whatsoever. Now it's like I invite it. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's not perfect. Tell me what needs to be better. Tell me. Because I reframed it in my mind as that this is the only way I'm going to get better. This is the only way I'm going to be able to make lasting changes that are going to really make a change quickly. So
yeah, I learned the same thing when I had editors come into my life, whether it was editors on websites or editors for books. To rewrite something, became like, oh, I don't write for you, I rewrite for you. You know what I mean? So it by reframing it that way, it really took the sting out of someone saying, no, you don't need to say this. This isn't good. You need to say something else. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, well, I think we're at the end of our time. What would be some final words that you would want to? Oh, I did want to share one other thing. And that is, this was another thing I talked about in the Chicken with Jim video yesterday. I said, opportunity often comes disguised as this.
That was a good one.
Thank you. Every once in a while, my caffeine level is just perfect. I'm lucid. Everything is perfect. And I come out with some cogent thoughts. Not always, but sometimes. And the thing is, opportunity usually comes disguised as a huge honking problem or a pain in the butt
that you have to solve.
And if you reframe that to, man, I get to solve this, and when I do, I bet you there's other people that would pay me for the solution I figured out. Seriously. And that's one of the most transformational resets I have ever made in my life, was reframing problems and all this stuff, just huge pain, into, man, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. And if it was easy, we wouldn't be making the big bucks. So let me figure out how to make this easier and sell the solution.
Well, Jim, that's how I'm going to reframe my reset of 10 stretches a day, mastering 10 stretches a day and creating my cool down series. I'm exactly reframing it the same way you just mentioned.
What do you mean? Explain.
I just solved a problem, and I have an answer to it, and maybe people will pay for that answer.
Oh, I know people will pay for that answer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's gonna launch you in a whole new cool trajectory that's gonna bring everybody along in your slipstream.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be great. Okay, cool. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Happy New Year, and we will see you next time. Thank you, Stu. Great job today.
Thank you, sir.